When they talk of Van Gogh, they talk of his mind. The beauty in the crevices of his brain, they talk of the texture in his work, brush strokes and self-portraits. When they talk of Van Gogh, they do not talk of his mind. They do not talk of the seizures that led him to lunacy, the voices that drove him to detach his own ear in the hope that the screaming would stop. They do not talk of the countless other Van Goghs, with their razor blade paintbrushes spattering red onto their own skin. When they talk of Plath, they talk of her mind. The genius in the folds of her grey matter, her haunting imagery. The way she enslaved language, made the words dance in place for her. When they talk of Plath, they do not talk of her mind. They do not talk of the wreckage that fueled her poetry. They talk of how she wasn't as strong as she could have been. They talk of the tragedy of her death, say rest in peace as if there aren't a million other Sylvia Plaths in the world today. Alone in their bedrooms, wondering why their minds feel like a curse and their bodies like a cage, wondering if poetry can save them, wondering if any of this is truly worth it. When they talk of art, our beautiful, heartbreaking art, but not the wreckage it stems from, when they say, imagine how broken you'd have to be to create that, but do not talk of how to help us heal from our trauma, I can't help but wonder. Is our pain only valid when it's in verse? Perfect meter and rhyme, when it's prettily packaged into a painting? I wonder, do they only keep us around for the art? I wonder, are we just shattered enough to create but not broken enough for that time? When they talk of mental illness as a way to further creativity, when they talk of it as if it's some sort of prerequisite to art, depression as inspiration for that next poem, bipolar disorder to improve your pencil sketches, anxiety for more striking metaphors. When a boy told me that all I had to do to win a poetry slam was write a poem about slicing my own wrists, when they talk of our illness like it is a selling point, I wonder if they know that we do not splay out our trauma on paper as a popularity tactic. We do it as a life raft. When art is the most stable thing in your life, you do not create in the hope of relatability, you create in the hope of survival. How is it that they can display our powerful, heartbreaking art, but if we show the slightest signs of falling apart, they shove us back into silence? Just a few more skeletons in a closet that's already bursting at the seams with bones and rancid flesh. How is it that they ignore the roars of the monster, pretend like it isn't even there, tell us that we are imagining it until it eats us alive, and even then, they act like it was our fault? Battling with your own brain does not make you weak. It makes you a warrior. I am sorry that when the cannons shot you down, they said you shot yourself. I am sorry that when their cynicism and apathy forced you to give up, they acted like it was a choice you could make. I am sorry that when you told them you were hurting, that you didn't know how much longer you could hold on, they told you, take a walk. Shake it off. You millennial artist types are so dramatic, always creating problems for yourselves. Suck it up, kid. There are children starving in Africa. Just breathe. Think positive thoughts. I tell them, I wish it were that easy. I wish it were all sunflowers and rainbows and self-help books. Trust me, I wish we didn't have all of this rage and pain. I wish that our severed ears and pulled out hair didn't litter these lonely bedrooms, this trope of a tortured artist non-existent. I wish that our bodies didn't carry these scars and claw marks. I wish our minds didn't breathe fire at us every single time we tried to confront them. I wish that we were at peace. But we aren't, are we? That isn't how it is, no matter how much they want it to be. We aren't all right, no matter how much they wish we were. They can only shut down our screams for so long, until the monster catches up to them. We can only live in the dark alleyways of their perfect picket-fenced neighborhoods for so long, until our sacred paint and ink overflows into their pebbled streets.